Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, shall we? Alright, so, well, we've got our first level thief that we replaced with our paralyzed thief, and I do want to say the game actually tells you about this. It explains to you on one of these tooltips that you should not get attached to your characters because it's very possible that they will die or become paralyzed or have some other condition inflicted upon them that you can't reasonably afford to cure. And so you're going to need to be just throwing bodies at this quest. And you might need to change class, change alignments, change your whole party, change one person who's not working, or work around a problem like an expensive paralysis cure. And that's just part of the game. So we'll level up quickly to match them. And we have 92 gold pieces. I think it's a great time for us to go back into the dungeon. But first, let's just view and see if anybody needs to rest. Now, a tip that I got from a viewer of my Let's Play that I never even saw, I was just manually resting with everybody, but there's this button over here which you can press to just have everybody who needs to rest to restore their spell points and hit points and things. And it's amazing. So you can push shift or just click this little party with the ZZZ on it, and you are set. Alright, so at this point, what we want to do is go now into the dungeon. I just wanted to make sure we had all of the castings of our spells. Alright, so let's go to the maze. Okay, so push M and M again to get rid of that extra interface, and let's just go this way. Okay, there's an axe with some blood on the ground. That's... oh my goodness. Now, I don't know how the person got on the ceiling, but that's just unbelievable. Alright. Let's go through here. We found ourselves a fight. I have discovered that it's very, very common to get into a fight when you open the door and go into a room. So expect it. And we're just going to fight them all. So, if I toggle their card with left alt, we did inspect these kobolds a little bit. We don't completely know them, but we know them 2 out of 3. And I'm just going to have my front line. Everybody's going to fight. And then in the back, we're going to inspect, fight. They're running. They don't like us. Okay. Not great. That's about right. So, they ran from us, almost killed Sneaky, and then everybody else missed. So, it's a tough game. 1 damage. Good job, everybody. Oh, dear God. Okay. Well, what did we get? We get nothing. So they ran away. We get absolutely nothing. However, even if they run, there is a chance that they will drop a chest. And we got it. So we're going to inspect it with our new thief. Notice how this thief, because we raised up their agility and luck, this new thief, even though they're first level versus the second level thief, has a 95% chance to inspect the chest correctly, and a 95% certainty that it's poison needle, and then a 71% chance to disarm it, and we got it. So, each party member receives 3 gold pieces right there. Not bad. Now, it says that we kind of... In the original Wizardry, everybody, like, distributed the gold, and then you had to go back into the town and kind of, like, divvy it up to go to the shop. But they've understood the insanity of that, and you collect the gold when you go to town into a big pile for easier buying. Now, we need to push C go to Deb, and we're going to cast Dios to heal up Sneaky, because he's nearly dead. And we rolled well. Remember, you just roll a 1 dice 8, so you get 1 to 8, and we healed. And you'll notice, okay, all of these spells that are divine spells or arcane spells, whatever you got. This is Deb, so she's a priest, so she's got divine spells. And you see how they're blue with a blue Roman numeral 1? That means they're first level spells. I have 5 different first level spells, and in the top right, it's going to tell you how many castings of each level spell. So I cast 1. I now have 4 remaining first level spells that I can use with my priest. And it can be any of these spells. It just kind of works up to, I have 4 castings. And so I'm going to save them for heal or maybe light. And we'll just come out, and we mapped out that room reasonably well. We're going to go over here. And we're not going to be going far. We're going to be sticking in the beginning section of this dungeon and to avoid death. And speaking of avoiding death, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to push shift to go to camp. I'm going to select Deb, and I'm going to say change position. Deb's going in the front row. I didn't want to do this, and we'll change this eventually, maybe when Sneaky has more hit points, but I don't have any money. And I really don't want Sneaky to die. And he almost died in 1 shot. So, let's try to keep this poor fool alive and have Deb go in the front. Now, the monsters surprised us, so they're all going to get to attack first, or, like you see, they're deciding that we're too powerful and many of them are running. So I'm going to fight, fight, fight. Now, in the back row, the thief has this ability to hide and then ambush, so I'll do it. Fine, I'll hide. I'll inspect, I'll inspect. You can see that the thief successfully hid. It said Sneaky hides in the shadows and Sneaky remains hidden. So now I can go fight, 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 and then I can ambush with the thief, and then we can inspect and inspect and fight. And he just ran away. Okay, fine. Okay, so we didn't learn anything new. Orcs are a little tougher than kobolds. Everybody got 39 experience points. Let's go ahead and inspect it. When you click inspect, it defaults to whoever has the highest chance, by the way. So you just can kind of go with that. Disarm. Oh, great. Exploding box. So we triggered it. It almost killed us. So that is the fun of opening traps. And we're going to go ahead and... oh, this game. We're going to cast this, and I mean, honestly, if people start dying at this level, you're just going to roll a new character. It's 50 gold, I think, at first level, and then it quickly goes to like 100 at second level, maybe, and so it's going to get really, really expensive the higher level we get. I'm going to heal up Deb. And I'm going to heal up right there. That's just to prevent a one-shot kill. Now, our spell points are gone with Deb. So what I'm going to do is just stand back here in this first corridor area. I did forget to step over here just to map that out. And I'm just going to kind of walk around in this area just to get... I want to get into a fight, but I need to be able to rest very quickly. Once you're more powerful, you don't have to, you know, haunt the entry stairs like this, but it's not worth having somebody die because it's so expensive. They're pointing at us. They don't like us. Why? All right. So we're going to fight, 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 hide. Now I'm going to parry. Oh, we got a surprise round. So that's why we can't cast spells. So we're just going to inspect and inspect. So in a surprise round, you can only attack, but you can hide. So we failed to hide. Nice shot. We're going to actually get some experience. Okay, there you go. Good job, everybody. Fight, 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 hide. I'm actually going to cast a spell, and this is our bishop. We have both... Actually, wait, I'm sorry, I lied. This is our bishop. Oh, that's right, but the bishop starts only with arcane spells. So we have Halito, which deals some damage. But the bishop has Dumapic. Yes, okay. So I was like, we didn't get Dumapic, and I only checked the mage. But I foolishly forgot to check our bishop, and we do have it. So if you said that in the first video, I apologize. That was me, having a moment and forgetting to check my bishop. But we do have maps, so we're going to check that out in a moment. But I am going to use Halito, and I'm going to then go here and cast Halito. And then we're going to fight. We killed them all. So we had, our first level spells just do a little bit of damage, and everybody gets 156 experience. We get some money. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast with Direweed Dumapic. So Dumapic is a first level arcane spell that reveals the map and your current location. So if I cast this, you're going to see it puts up a grid, and these are all 20 by 20 grids, or 0 to 19, and the staircase is in the bottom left corner. You're going to see it matches what our dynamic map is, but it's much larger, and this will every time we cast this, it will record every square that we have stepped in the dungeon. And then what's amazing about this, and the way that they handled this in the remake, is at any point I can push left control to open up the map without casting Dumapic, and it does not reveal your location like when you cast Dumapic, which is one of the reasons it's so helpful, because it shows you what tile you're actually on. But it just gives you the map that you've, since the last time you cast the spell. So you could kind of see, okay, this is what this floor looks like. And I know that, for example, I'm right here in this corner. And so all we need to do is just walk down here, and we can go up the steps and rest. This is beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the inn, and we're just going to sleep. And we're going to go out. I have 212 gold. We're going to keep building up that cushion. I'm going to go back into the maze. Why? We need to build up that cushion effectively forever so that we can get out of medical emergencies. We'll start buying some better gear eventually. But right now, I'd like to have enough money to resurrect people if they die. Now, you don't have to. If you wanted to, you could just spend your money and then just make new people. But I'm going to go down here, and I'm just looking for fights. Ooh, new enemy, leather-clad men. Who wears leather in the dungeon? My god, it's rogues. All right, so we're going to fight, and we will hide and inspect and inspect. There's only 2 of them. That guy ran away. Eustace hit it hard, but it didn't die. So unfortunately, we didn't learn very much, and they ran. I hope they drop a chest for us. They did not. They did. There we go. Sometimes it's a little slow to load all the information at the end. Inspect. No trap with 95% certainty. So I'm going to open it with Amelia. And hey, everybody gets some cash. Beautiful. 30 gold, a windfall. Let's go over here, and let's just open this and map the whole thing out. Just walk on every tile. Go over here. Oh, sorry. Overlord Trebor had a message for us. I forgot that was there. I was pushing spacebar just to open the door. So he kind of, will talk to you through the amulet at the very beginning of the game a bit, and then when you get to important sections. So now what I want to do is I'm going to cast with Deb Milwa so we could see a little bit further. Let me show you something. I'm going to go up here, and there's a plaque, so you just push spacebar to read this. It says corridor out of limits, turn back. So there's this smoky area. Whenever you see this smokiness in the dungeon, know that when you go inside, you will not be able to see. If you have cast a light spell, it will be put out, and you will kind of, be literally wandering around in the dark trying to figure out what's going on. Now, this is an important part of this floor, but right now we don't want to do it. And if memory serves, even if you try to go into this right now, I think it turns you around until you're ready for the moment. So let's just keep mapping out the rest of this floor. Let's go over here. And here's a stairwell. And look at this. You must test your mettle against many horrors before you are ready to venture deeper. So this is the floor down, but we need to prove ourselves that we're not going to just die instantly. So we'll do that. We need to level up. The monsters surprised us. Slimes. Fight, fight, fight. Hide, inspect, inspect, go. Okay. And a little bit of cash, a little bit of experience. I'm going to turn around and go this way. Go through here. So we know these rogues. We're familiar with their antics. Fight, fight, fight. I'll hide. I'll try to cast my spell. Sure. Actually, wait. Not with you. The bishop's arcane spells are actually more valuable as map, so I'm just going to inspect. But I will cast Holito here with our mage. He's out. Block, block. We can't hit. Deb did it. Yes. We've killed a man. Okay. Inspect it. Okay. Ooh, 70 gold. Great. I'm going to just do this. Now, a few things I want to show you. I'm going to cast with our bishop Dumapic. And then now look at this. We've updated the map. You could see the stairs up in the bottom left. And in the middle left, you see the stairs down. You see all the places that we have been. So our map is starting to get filled in, which is sensational. And I'm going to turn around, go this way, and I just want to walk down to the end of this hallway and show you something. Ooh, skeletons. Okay. My God. They're undead kobolds, and they surprised us. Uh-oh, they're hitting us. I don't care for this one bit. Fight, fight. Now, I will fight with Deb. I will hide. Our bishop is not yet able to dispel undead. We might need to get a little bit more powerful. I'm not going to dispel undead, but we could if we wanted to. I'm just going to go ahead and cast Holito. These guys aren't hard. Dispel Undead is great. If it works, it just basically kills the undead in one shot, but you don't get experience for it. So it's a nice thing to do, like, if you're overwhelmed. Actually, we are getting overwhelmed, aren't we? Fine. Fight. Fight. Here it is. Dispel Undead. So your priest and eventually your bishop can do this. I'll inspect. And I will parry. Get knocked around here. That was Dispel Undead. So one of them resisted, the others are dead, and I just pushed control to quick fight because all I want to do is kill this one. And we did. Eustace got him. There you go. 115 experience for everyone. I'm going to cast with Deb Dios on Amelia. And this is the disaster of healing in this game. You see that was 2. Deb, 6. That was perfect. 5. Pretty good. So as long as you roll well, the healing is okay. But you can get a 1, and it's miserable. Now, you notice how I step all the way down here, and nothing, it doesn't look like there's much going on, but if I cast Milwa, you notice how now when my torch turns purple, and I look at this wall, it's shimmering, like the mortar is shimmering golden. This means that there's a secret door. Now, I'm not going to open this door right now, because it would lead us into a difficult section of the dungeon. We want to go there later, but I don't want to get stuck over there right now. I just want to show you what a secret door looks like. This game loves to give you doors that are one-way doors, and because of that, you have to constantly be careful, like making sure that you know how to get back to the entrance, that you have enough spells left, and don't overextend yourself or you'll just die. So you could search around a little bit, but you really want to be careful, because not as much on the first floor, although that would be really hard for us, but especially as you go, they start throwing stuff at you where the dungeon itself is going to just wreck you. Now, in a surprise round, you do get to dispel. I'm going to dispel these undead guys. I'm going to inspect and inspect, fight. Boy, we're terrible. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight. I'll go ahead and try to dispel this guy again. We will ambush the back row. I'm going to Halito the back row. And I'm going to Halito the back row. We're going to be resting pretty soon. Sneaky did 4 damage as an ambush. That is amazing. I'm thrilled by that. That's one of the better ambushes I've seen. And look at this. Everybody on the front line is up a level. And Amelia says we should head back up. I could use a rest at the inn to train my abilities. So let's do that. Let's get out of here. We need our spells back anyway. Run. You are amazing. Okay, so once you get back to town, this is a moment where here's what you could do. You don't have to do this, okay? But what I'm going to do is actually just push escape, and I'm going to go to the title menu, and we're going to save and quit. And then I'm going to go to my game, which is... to know which game you're on, just make sure you see, like, if you have 2 of the same file, look for whichever one has the most playtime, like when was the last you played it, and look for the latest one. So this is the latest one. Also, the gold count can generally help. So I'm going to take this file, and I'm going to copy it to this slot. And so now I have 2 versions of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this slot, and I'm going to load it. So remember, we're backing up our game. But this is another, your mileage may vary on if you want to do this and how much you want to do this. But when you level up, it is random how many hit points you're going to get, what stats you're going to get. So, especially early, getting 1 hit point sucks. So if I go to the inn and I'm like, okay, let's have Amelia level up. This is available when that arrow is flashing and you have enough experience. If I level up, you see how I get 2 attribute points and 1 hit point. Now, 2 attribute points is pretty good, but 1 hit point for my frontline fighter is god-awful. So, what I'm going to do is, we'll spend this on strength, of course, but I'm just going to push escape, and I'm going to push escape, and I'm going to quit to the title menu, and I'm going to return. It's going to save the game, but I have this backup, and we're just going to copy this down here, and then I'm going to open up this file, my backup, where Amelia is not leveled up. I'll go to the inn. I'm going to level her up. Oh my god. Okay. That's awful. So, I'm going to then quit to title menu. Select game. These are not good. This one is. I'm going to copy this over this. I'm going to copy this over this. Then I'm going to load this one. I'm going to go to the inn. Okay. So it's up to you how often you want to do this. This is only one attribute point instead of 2, which is kind of a bummer. But I do get 4 hit points, which is an improvement. It's not amazing, but it's good enough. Now let's level up Eustace. So you see, for example, Eustace gets 3 attribute points and 3 hit points. So his level actually ended up going a little bit better. Now, at the beginning, I recommend trying to get your strength all the way up with your fighters. It helps them just hit more and do more damage, which is incredibly important. Then we're going to go to vitality and agility and then luck. So let's do that, and then we can level up Deb. Now, Deb only got 1 hit point, and that isn't ideal. So, you know, I'm going to, with your casters, you level up their primary casting stats. I'm going to level up Piety. Do I want to keep this? How do I feel about this? I think we can do better. I'm going to say no thank you. And I'm going to load up this one. Okay. So that was already worse. So we're going to just quit. Copy. And this is painful. And it's, again, it's just totally up to you. Now, when I did my Let's Play, I did not do this until way later in the game because I didn't even think about it as a possibility. And, you know, you can roll with the punches, or you can just kind of do this a little bit, or if you're, you know, really into min-maxing, you might do this a lot until you get the exact boost that you're looking for. All right, so I decided to just do this a couple of more times. I'm not a person who has the patience to do this forever. I actually don't really do it that often. But for the tutorial, I thought it'd be a nice, good practice just to show you that this is possible. So what I ended up doing was I accepted 2, 3, and 3 attributes with my first people. And I think I got 2 or 1 hit point with Amelia and Eustace. But we ended up getting 5 hit points with our priest, which was good. And now we can rest. And our group has 3 people in the front who are stronger. We can also go over to the store and see if there's anything we want to buy. So we have longsword, chainmail, large shield. The improvement for our frontline people is going to be in body armor, where we can move up to breastplate, which would give us another armor class bonus, and then eventually plate mail, which would be great. Now Deb can also wear a breastplate to make her much stronger, but she has, you know, you could see the anointed mace, and we could get her the anointed flail, which is better to hit, and a better upper damage, but a lower floor damage. Now, there's nothing, I still like the longsword because it's, you know, +4 to hit. And we've got helms. I think Deb can actually wear a helm. No, she can't. Okay. But shield +1 would be the other upgrade. So let's go ahead and buy a breastplate for Amelia. And yes, we'll equip it. And then we're going to go ahead and sell. And I'm going to sell this chainmail. And then we can go over here, and we have the leather armor to sell, the short sword to sell. Nothing like fantastic money-wise, but it's something. And then we can go to Eustace, and we can buy a breastplate for Eustace as well. Equip it, and then we can sell the chainmail. So I'm not going to buy anything else because I want us to have some money just in case somebody gets paralyzed or something. But at this point, we've mapped a little bit. We've leveled up. We explained how to kind of like work the leveling system if you choose to. And we've upgraded our breastplates for our first fighters. We've also moved our priest into the front row until Sneaky gets some more hit points so he doesn't die immediately. And we're rocking and rolling. Everyone, I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I'll check you next time. Take care.